to the next episode of Discipline, Desire, Dedication. My name is Dakota Lang, along co-host Garrett Cotten. Today we have a interesting story. I think is very inspiring as well. It's definitely not the traditional route that a lot of people know of, but we have a collegiate fisherman, Chance Shelby. Welcome, big dog.
I appreciate the invite, man.
Heck yeah,
Grateful to
dude.
have this opportunity.
Oh yeah, glad to have you on. We were kind of talking about it yesterday a little bit. First time in Utah, huh?
Yeah, it's sick. The
Heck
view, you
yeah,
can't get much better with the view,
I
for
yeah,
always
sure.
like hearing from people too. You know, being from Louisiana, when I first got out here, it was culture shock. Like I remember being in the car and I'm like taking pictures of every curve. And my cousin, he's just like, yeah, pretty mountains. Just driving along.
Yeah, that
Well,
was me yesterday. I taking a bunch of pictures.
yeah, and we haven't even got to get into the mountains yet
Right,
either.
right.
But you've been to Colorado before, so you've
Few times.
seen mountains. But Utah, there's just something about Utah. It's just different being out here.
yeah. What was your first impression when you were landing in? What were you thinking?
Man, that air's thin. I can't breathe good.
Dry,
Yeah,
Right,
that
yeah.
was funny because even like this morning, you were talking about I had to wake up in the middle of the night drinking out the
Yeah.
sink.
Utah weather, man.
Heck yeah, man. Well, let's just jump straight into your story, dude. Introduce yourself to the listeners, who you are, where you're from, and, pretty much lead up to, how we got here today.
Right. My name's Chance Shelby. 22 years old from Watson, Louisiana. Kind of my story started off, man, I played baseball pretty much from whenever I could walk to my junior year of high school, but I don't know, I just fell in love with fishing probably whenever I was 4 or 5 years old. My dad really got me into it and kept going, kept doing it in high school. Really didn't want to play baseball much more after my sophomore year. Really wanted to focus on fishing. Like it was just that's what my love was. That was my first love, you know. Thought baseball was, but then my parents just wanted me to keep playing baseball and I
Did you keep playing through like junior, senior year?
I played till my junior year. I played all the way through then. And then I just told my mom, I was like, I'm done. Like I played varsity, I was on the varsity team, pinch runner, played a little bit, not much. So I was like, you know what? I can get a scholarship for fishing. So I was I thought
Kind
that
of
was
go into
better.
that too of like how do you get recognized for fishing? Like, I mean, it's not like baseball where you got scouts and stuff,
Right.
Like kind of
Kind
tell
of
us about that.
yeah, man. We have in Louisiana there's 9 tournaments. It's divisions like a southwestern, eastern, and then north division. And but I'd fish all 9. I was into it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was eating it up. But
Is it expensive being in high school, like to get in all these tournaments or?
high school's not too bad because they're all in Louisiana. It's once you get to the collegiate level and then to semi-pro and then pro. That's whenever it gets really really expensive. But yeah, just like getting noticed though. Like I would just a top 20 finish in high school was very good because and it's growing like a whole lot. There's between 200 to 250 boats in each tournament now.
Oh my gosh.
And but whenever I was in high school, there was between 190 to 215 ish.
Yeah.
But it's
Talk
just
about
growing.
talk about that feeling though, because I feel like that can relate to a lot of different people. Um, like parents. And it's just more like a lifestyle thing. First of all, I can always relate to like college. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah, it's in a different sense. You talking about baseball and fishing, but like a lot of where we're from, a lot of people go, okay, you need to go to college, you need to do this, right? And everybody's pushing this. Is persona the right word I'm looking for? Or the direction, but people are just pushing college on you because that's the right thing to do to be successful,
Yeah.
right? Same thing as something like that. Somebody's telling you like, no, go the baseball route, go the baseball route, but it's not like your passion.
Right.
What were some of those emotions like whenever people are pushing that on you, but in the back of your head, like you knew, like, man, I wanted to go fish. You know what I mean? That's where my love is.
You know, if you start thinking about it, man, like it's like 1% of anybody you play with that goes to the MLB, you know? I'm a little guy. I'm 5'7", 145 pounds. I knew I wasn't going for that, and I just truly love fishing. Like it was just a passion, Like but and then my parents like I loved it. Like I really did. And then but everybody around me knew fishing was my passion because everybody would be talking about baseball. I'd be eating up that fishing, man. Everybody would ask me, and I'm eating it up, you know.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how like. And then me and my mom got into a few arguments, and I was just like, I don't want to play anymore. Which shout out mom for keeping me in it until I did, because I probably would have got burnt out, you know, keeping me occupied whenever I'm not fishing.
Exactly. And you definitely learn a lot of different things from going through, you know, sports and stuff like that, like the accountability aspect. I think that's very crucial for people growing up as well, you know. So you get into fishing, right? You were on the high school team,
Right.
and then like Cotten was saying, like, how do you get recognized and stuff like that? Whenever you, because wasn't the high school fishing team that you were a part of, wasn't it like brand new when you entered or you started?
It wasn't exactly brand new, but it was pretty new, yeah, for sure. Like they started it probably 4 years before me, but like everything was kind of like getting into the flow, you know.
I think I was just getting out of high school, like 2015, 2016, and Walker got a fishing team. Like it was right when I was going. But of course, like I feel like as soon as I left, everything started popping in school. Like they started bringing
Yeah.
all kinds of new curriculum.
Right.
But a good opportunity though for
For
you.
sure, for sure. But and then I don't know, I started getting recognized by 10 to 15 colleges, and then I'm glad I went to the college combine. If you're in high school and you want to have a good opportunity to go to college for fishing, I would advise going to that college combine. You get to meet most of your better schools there. You meet new friends, like new guys that fish, like, and just you learn just so much from.
What does a combine look like for fishing?
So it's kind of like, man, I got to kind of think about it. It's been a minute. But we kind of got there day one and just got settled in, like kind of like got our name cards and like our numbers and stuff. And then day two, we kind of like walked around, like kind of had a meeting on like what we need to talk about with the schools, what schools you want to go to. And then day three was like flipping, like I guess just like flipping on like dots and stuff. Like you
They
get
tested
time.
you.
Yeah, yeah, literally testing us. Like you did that, casting, how far you could cast, not tying, like just things like that. Like just to kind of like see where you're at, you know?
Yeah.
But like it was pretty cool. Actually, my old college fishing partner, he won the casting deal, and then or no, I'm sorry, he didn't win the casting deal. He won the overall like in points, which he got a like really big trophy for that and stuff.
Yeah.
So
But that's usually where you get your recognition to get into the school. Did you get scholarshiped when you went to school or like
yeah,
LSU
yeah, yeah.
teamwork?
Like all my gas, my my schooling, some of my schooling from like man, I messed it up. But schooling, what is that called? We take the ACT. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
sorry. The ACT, like stuff like that, kind of goes into it,
Mm-hmm.
and
They'll kind of build you out like a scholarship program type
pretty
deal.
much, yeah. But
That's cool.
like that, gas, hotels, like everything, kind of fishing. Like we got a card. Like we didn't pay for anything.
Dang, that's
So
actually really cool.
Yeah. What would you say, like, when you go into the collegiate level, like, you know what I mean? Coming from a high school fishing team, like, what are some of the biggest challenges that you face, you know, or that you face personally?
man, like I'm not cocky or nothing, but I thought I was pretty decent in Louisiana, and college is a different level. I'll tell you that right now. It's 200 of the 250 of the best guys you're going to compete against probably in your whole life of fishing. They're hungry, like very hungry, like trying to make it. Like I'll just name some examples this year. Just they're unreal. It's like Dylan Nutt, Carter Nutt, uh,
Brothers?
yeah, yeah, Bank Shaw, like all these guys I fished against last year. Um, who else? Like actually, like my old, he's fishing right now for in the invitationals as we speak. Levi Thibodeau, and he's probably one of your best guys in the state of Louisiana.
In fishing, so is it more based off of who's the most knowledgeable, or is it more based on like who's got the most experience, or what do you think is going to help
Time on the
somebody?
water, for sure.
Time on the
Time on the
water?
water, learning new things, going with different people, like they showing you new things, and just man, I just think the biggest thing is really time on the water and your knowledge on. your graphs and mapping and stuff for sure.
Even like us, when on the doors, the more time you're on the doors is confidence, and we relate it to the gym. The more time you go to the gym, you're more confident. Things like that. Yeah, no, it's very interesting because it's a skill set. Like learning how to fish and stuff like that.
Right.
So like, what do you think is gonna separate to be like one of these top 10 out of the 250 best guys out there?
Man, just trusting in yourself, trusting in God, just
Do you think it has much to do with luck, being in the right
there's
spot?
there's a little bit of luck. I would say about 10% of luck and then 90 skill.
Yeah, we say the same thing. It's 90% mindset and 10% skill.
Right.
You know,
Because if you don't have the mindset or the positivity that you need, like going into a tournament, forget it.
I think of that like gambling at a casino.
This
If
is-
you walk into a casino and you're like, I'm gonna lose all my money
Right.
today, I'm walking in. Guess what you're doing?
You're giving it away.
You might as well just write a check.
And I think this is a point that we can really harp on is like when we were eating breakfast this morning, you were like, we were talking about what we did and you were talking about fishing and, we're relating, it goes hand in hand because it's both a skill set and a sport. We always say that door-to-door sales is the professional of sales. Like you
Right.
cannot get any harder. Right. But like you were like, man, I could never get on them doors. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
I couldn't do that. And, you put me or Cotten in a fishing tournament, we're gonna look at each other and go, "What the hell's the next step?
What you using?"
Where, where we is that a cricket? You know what I mean?
How'd you put it on there?
Yeah. So you know what I mean. I think that's super important though. Is that it relates because, like you said, time on the water, right? Same thing that we relate to, time on the doors. So a lot of people come into our industry and it's terrifying, Same thing if somebody's going into wants to be a professional fisherman, right? You've never done it before, so it can be extremely terrifying. But at the same time, you just have to put yourself in those uncomfortable situations and then you can come out and grow,
Yeah.
It kind of opens my eyes too a little bit, just because like you have a passion of fishing. You've been fishing since how old?
3, 4.
your whole entire life.
Right.
And my whole entire life, like my parents always told me, like, oh, Garrett's gonna be a lawyer one day. He's gonna be, a preacher or something like that, like talking to people, persuading people, selling
Yeah.
people.
For sure.
They've told me that my whole life, and in the back of my mind, I've always been like, I'd love to be a public speaker. I'd love to be in front of people. And then it kind of like gets to the point where when I was presented with this opportunity of door-to-door sales, it's in a sense I'm kind of passionate about people, and
Right.
talking to people, and so it gave me a field where I can go out there and do something that I'm passionate about. And I think that's also a reason why I've had a lot of success is because I truly love what I do. It kind of goes along with fishing. I always talk about gyms and stuff like that, but if you love working out, you're going to be the best at it.
Right.
If you love fishing, I mean, you're going to be, I say the best, but you're going to be a lot better than most.
Correct. And it comes kind of like back down to when your parents, when you were younger, practice makes perfect. Between your jobs, what you want to do, your skill set, like everything. Like I think the more you practice anything and the more you do anything, the better you're going to get at it.
Confidence. You
Right.
get confidence from doing it.
Correct.
So talk about that. So you go to the collegiate level, you learn, like you said, it's a totally different ball game. One thing that we were talking about yesterday is like, kind of similar to what we do is like personal branding,
Right.
because whenever fishing is more of an individual sport rather than a team sport,
Correct.
and me just knowing your personality and knowing, about you, right? That had to be some of the challenges for you getting on camera, you know what I
Sure.
mean? Talk about some of that, maybe some of those challenges and how you had to get out of your comfort zone to where, because obviously we sponsor you,
Right.
right? And kind of talk about how like reaching out and, just starting to build your personal brand could be uncomfortable, but also something that you had to do to be able to elevate your game.
Right. So like, I'm getting close to graduating. I wanted to start fishing at a little bit higher level than college, like for the Toyota series, and then maybe next year on the invitationals. And last year it was my first year on the Toyota series, and I kind of started looking at like prices and like housing and all that, and it gets expensive, man. Like those entry fees are like something like you have to really focus on. And man, like thanks to y'all for sure for like sponsoring me and everything,
Yeah.
because like if it wasn't for y'all and my other sponsors, I wouldn't be able to do it. I love,
Yep.
but it's like also you have to do good so you show off for your sponsors, and then you have to keep posting and making sure like they see it, and you notify like everybody like, hey, these people sponsor me, go check them out, kind of sort of deal. That way they can keep sponsoring me, you know. But if you don't do that, you're gonna lose your sponsors, you know.
Yeah.
And I kind of got in that situation.
It's not fun. Yeah, posting and stuff like that. And, for us, we've had to like basically brand ourselves because we don't have sponsors to help us. In a sense, we're like our own sponsor. Like, we got to figure out how to get our brand out there so like people like you can see that we offer that,
For sure.
But it's so uncomfortable making those initial posts,
It's
or
very
figuring
hard.
it out.
It's like, should I say that? No, I shouldn't say that. Should I say? Yeah, I should, but maybe not. Maybe
I
it'll.
sent Caitlin a video yesterday. I was like, should I post this? It's funny because like we still seek, it's like we're worried about what people are going to think.
Right.
But the reality of it is you're going to have so much success by just pushing it out
Right.
there,
And kind of like I was telling Dakota, like some of the guys, not going to mention names, but like some of your guys that post like in college get on the team for like their publicity because they post so much. That means a lot to your team, to your coaches, and to your sponsors. That's getting like everybody out there. It's helping them make money. It's helping you make money, and it's just keeping the flow. You know,
Mhm.
It don't stop whenever you do that.
Right. And you do all that stuff yourself? Or do you have like people help you? I'm assuming maybe your family helps you a little
My
bit.
family helps me a little bit for sure, but a lot of
Majority.
it's myself.
Right.
Yeah, I would say so.
Cool. You get anything?
No
Well-
girlfriend or anything like that doing it?
Um,
Something.
So you know, you have to find the right one for like this
Type of
sport.
life.
Yeah, because man, kind of like y'all too, man. Like y'all are going a lot too. It's like I might be going for 2 straight months, you know, and then I come home for 3 days, and then I'm going 2 more months.
Mm-hmm.
She's got to know, hey, I won't be home. You have to trust me. I have to trust you, kind of deal.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we can talk about because, I mean, and the position that we're in, first of all, everybody thinks it's just sunshine and rainbows and
Yeah.
everything's great. You know what I mean? But what they
Right.
don't realize, and I have a kid on the way. He has 2 under 2. I know you don't have any kids, but at the same time, like, travel, you know what I mean? There is times that whenever you're traveling, it can get very hard.
You miss home. You miss your
Yeah.
family, you know. I
Yeah.
have 2 nephews. I have parents, you know. I miss them a lot, you know.
Yep.
And I get so excited when they surprise me and come see me in another state. And I feel like I fish a lot better, feel more comfortable whenever they're there too.
Right. Yeah.
Support system is
It's
insanely
huge.
important.
But I think that's so crucial, right? Because like you were talking about, like, and we're not gonna go into a girlfriend topic, but spouses, right?
Right.
That's something that me and him preach all the time. Is that if your spouse is not on the same page and she doesn't understand
Yeah.
the sacrifice of what you have to do to be able to accomplish your goal, then it'll never work.
Right.
So I think that's very crucial, especially in a field that you're in, traveling to different lakes and different waterways and stuff, like different states,
Right.
is something that you have to make sure that is on board for your career as well.
For sure. And like that's the first thing. Like I told this girl, I was like, look, listen, like fishing comes first right now. Until I make it, like fishing's gonna come first no matter what. Like right
Yeah.
now.
That's the sacrifice.
Yeah.
When we came out here, it's like we are doing this, and you can either come or you can stay.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to make money for y'all. Like, you know what I mean? It's like if
Gotta
you want
provide.
to provide, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. You got
So
bills
talk
to pay.
about that. Like, so what exactly, like, you're in you said the Toyota series. Like what is like what is your plan from here?
Man. So like I started fishing as a co-angler and started learning a lot from a lot.
Explain what that
Okay,
is.
sorry, yeah, I should. So there's a boater. So I'm in the boater's field now, but a boater is they get to run the boat, run the trolling motor, and the co can't get on the front deck. They're just sitting in the back, kind of, sort of, can't tell you really anything. But that's where I started, and the co-angler like side, you learn a lot from your boater. Like, for example, Nick LeBrun, your graph or a GPS graph, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of like an iPad. They connect to the front to the back. And I asked him, like, I was like, hey, do you mind if you turn this one on? And I watch like your bait on live scope. And it's like to where you can see your bait, right? And he was like, for sure, for sure. And just like how far he cast it past the fish, how the fish were reacting to your bait, and just things like that. It's like little things you have to key in on. If you don't key in on those little things, forget it. Like you're not going to be able to catch when you need to catch 18 pounds and it's a tough day. You might catch 12, you know? It's those little things that might help those bigger fish eat. So I started off as a co-angler, and then I worked my way up, and I want to boat as a co-angler also, which was very cool.
Won a boat?
Yeah,
Oh,
on a
wow.
boat. Yeah, on
Like
Sand
a
River
tournament or something?
tournament. Yeah,
Bass boat or something?
yeah, the Phoenix.
Heck
And I worked my way up. I told my mom, I want to fish. I want to fish on the pro side now. I want to. She said, wait 1 more year. You need a little bit more, a little bit more. And thankfully, she was like, yeah, you know, because I learned a lot more from just the boater, like the boater prospect. And you know, I was like, this is the year I'm doing it, no matter what. I have enough money saved up now. I want to do it. And my first ever tournament, worst conditions you could fish in, like that snow we had in Louisiana.
That's when it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was fishing out. It was like 19 degrees. I remember. It was cold. My uncle was like, because I stay at my uncle's house. Shout out to Uncle Wade for letting me stay. They helped me so much, and Logan and a few other guys, and Mr. Clint, that helped me get into this sport and do very well and successful. But got to Sam Rayburn. I'm hyped, man. I'm excited to get going. And you know, my uncle, that was the first thing. Don't start jumping around. Stay where you need to stay and do what you need to do. Well, like
And
I
when you say
am,
don't start jumping around, are you talking about like different
jumping
spots?
spots. Yeah,
Jumping spots?
man. And I should have listened to him because I started jumping around, and day one kind of put me in a bind. I was sitting in like 70th after day one, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna listen to him. And I did, and I jumped down like 30 spots and finished up like 40th, somewhere around there, which isn't good, isn't bad, you know. Keeps me in the points race. So
And you saying like, and you said earlier, like, I mean, you talking about like 250 boats at these tournaments?
Right.
200 boats?
right,
Yeah.
200
Yeah.
to
On
150,
average.
right.
You know? Yeah. So, but that's something that like you're talking about, like, don't jump around.
I think about jumping hood.
Yeah.
Because we knock doors, and it's the same thing. Is in a sense, we're fishing for one or two homeowners to want what we have.
Yep.
And it's about doing the right process in front of that right homeowner. You know, it's kind of like fishing, having the right bait,
Right.
dropping it, you know, and all that stuff matters so heavily. But if you find people that they think, oh, this neighborhood or this spot is bad, they
Right.
jump hood, but there was a sale in that
Right.
neighborhood, you know, and we see the same exact stuff all the time where if you just focus on the input, I mean the systems of doing
Mhm.
things the right way and
For
not
sure.
so much it's focused on your controllables.
Right.
You can't control the weather.
No,
You
for
can't control
sure.
where the fish are at.
No.
You know,
No,
what you can
right.
control is, you know, fishing the spot.
Relocating them, like, just like, because they're still, the fish ain't gonna swim 8 miles, you know. You just got to relocate them in that area, kind of like you're saying, you know, that house might not be the one that you're gonna sell at,
But
but
it's on the street.
3 or 4, yeah, right,
Yeah.
3 or 4 houses down, you're
It's
gonna
so
make a sale.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially like you were talking about, like the small things. You know, that's something that we preach all the time. Is, you know, the attention to detail. Don't focus on the big result, right?
Right,
Don't focus on winning the tournament.
correct.
Just focus on you know
Staying kind of consistent.
your controllables, like
You just
Cotten said.
cast, you know, you're casting the pole. It's
Right.
not the it's not the fish, you know.
Yep.
Correct.
So it's coming back to focus on your controllables, but yeah, more time on the boat. You get to learn a lot more, and I think it's really awesome about your mom and stuff holding you back from making that push earlier for pro. We tell people all the time in our industry that fast success, you know, say if you went out there and you won first place or something and you just win big,
Right.
it will help to build your ego. Whereas slow success, where you learn more, kind of taking this longer approach, it's going to build your character. You know?
Correct,
You
for sure.
learn so much
For
as
sure.
you go. So I mean, that's probably going to be super beneficial for you in this
Right.
journey as well.
For sure.
Yeah. So so you know, you still doing that. I mean, as far as like your plans for this year, you know what I mean? What's kind of like some of your big goals for this year?
Man, this year, qualify for nationals for college. I'm still fishing a few college tournaments this year. This is probably gonna be my last semester. Maybe next semester I might fish 1 or 2 more, but trying to really slow down on that. But
So and I don't mean to cut you off. So like so you can just fish like individual college tournaments. It's not like a actual point system, or you can have the
There
option
isn't-
to chase the point system.
correct, there is a point system.
Okay.
It's the college bracket, and then there's a team of the year. And I'm trying to think of what else. There's a lot of different things in college that
Mhm.
you can race for, really. And there's school of the year. But like the bracket's pretty cool. Like you have to. It's very hard to get into the bracket. And that was one of my goals, but it's very hard. But kind of messed up at the first one to do it this year.
Yeah.
But it's you have to fish three tournaments, and if you finish the highest in points out of 250 guys, you make the bracket. And then once you make the bracket, you have to go against those guys. Like it's 6 of them, and man, it's tough to beat those guys.
I
that
can
are in the
only
bracket.
imagine. I get to see where it could be extremely competitive. You know what I mean?
sure.
You're sitting at the dock and let's say you got 150 boats launching. You know what I mean?
Does everybody? I mean, how long does it take to get all the boats in the water?
It takes. I mean, I'm up at 4 a.m. I'm at the ramp for 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then by about 7, everybody's launched.
That's crazy.
Boats and they take off one at a time. It takes probably 20, 25, 30 minutes to do that.
Got to have a lot of patience in that game.
Oh, I'm all shook up, ready to go whenever I'm whenever I'm one of the last boats.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Huh. Well, cool deal. Well, yeah. Is there any last things you want to say? Any shout outs? Maybe your sponsors?
Shout out all my sponsors, man.
You wanna name 'em?
Desirable Dedication, man, for sure. Satsuma Valves, Double S Sandblasting, Kobe Construction. I think that's all. for
That's
sure.
it. Heck yeah. Well, good deal. We appreciate you coming on. Glad
Yeah.
you were able to make the trip to Utah
Yeah.
as well. So,
Awesome. Beautiful.
and then they can find you on Instagram, huh? You got
yeah.
Instagram?
Yeah. CWS_32.
CWS_32.
After he wins one of these big tournaments, we'll bring him on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Hopefully I can do that this year.
Win another boat. That's
Yeah.
pretty badass to win a boat.
We got a big lake right here.
Yeah.
We'll test her out.
Yeah, exactly. Open her up. So,
Well,
heck yeah.
I appreciate y'all letting me come on. It was an honor.
Heck yeah, dude. We're glad for you to come on too. So we appreciate all of you watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And like I said previously, we got a bunch of big things coming here in 2026. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.